Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to review the Etchr Mini Palette. This is a small porcelain palette that's made by the artist Stephanie Law. Now this product, it was actually on Kickstarter a few months ago and the campaign has already ended successfully in April 2019. But it's now sold and distributed by Etchr Lab, hence it's called the Etchr Mini Palette now. So it comes in a beautiful tin box like this. Now one thing to note about this metal box is this is going to rust in the future. So I have another tin box. This is for the Da Vinci cleaning soap and this is how it looks like when it rusts. So just take note of that. We have a small card that's made of watercolor paper. And you can use this to paint the colors that you have, that you are going to put on the mini palette. This is some piece of cloth to protect the palette. So there are two porcelain palettes in the tin. This is the one with 37 wells, but because the wells are small, you won't be able to get a lot of paint into them. On the back we have this matte surface and on the top here, and for the wells it's all glossy. And this is the other palette. This is for mixing colors, so this is for storing colors. This palette has 7 wells and obviously they are bigger. Stephanie Law designed these palettes because she wanted to have a palette that can hold a lot of color as well as something that is portable. So she came out with this idea to make mini porcelain palettes like this. Now these are porcelain, so they are heavier compared to plastic and metal palettes. And because this is porcelain, you should not drop this or else they would break. These two palettes are stackable. The mixing palette should go to the bottom. If you have the paint palette at the bottom, the paint is going to stick to the bottom of the other palette. So the mixing palette should be at the bottom. And the overall set like this, it's definitely quite portable, but it does feel a bit heavy. Now if you want to use this outdoors, you would probably need to use a water brush, or if you don't have a water brush, if you prefer to use normal brushes, then you would need to bring your own water container and a normal brush. In the first circle here, there are 6 wells. In the second circle, there are 12, and the outer circle, there are 18 wells. With a palette that can hold so many colors, it can be quite easy to forget what the colors are. So if you actually squeeze 37 colors onto the palette, it will be good to paint the color swatches on this card here to help you remember what the colors are. And this circular design, it allows you to fill the colors in such a way that the colors can be arranged like the color wheel. These palettes, they are great for painting details, painting into small areas. If you want to paint like large areas, these are not suitable. Firstly, because you need to use a large brush to paint over a large area, and this is the smallest squirrel brush that I have. If I have to get paint out from that well with this squirrel brush, I would actually have to dig the paint out, and that's going to damage the hair of this brush. Here I have a size 6 sable brush, and even this feels a bit big. So for brushes that I would recommend to go with this palette, I would say maybe size 4 and below. Let's mix some colors. I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow. One thing about porcelain palettes is when you're mixing on it, the water would actually pool together, so that's nice. I have to mix the paint bit by bit because I'm using a small amount of paint. If I use too much paint, the colors are going to shift very quickly from, in this case, yellow to red or red to yellow. There are people who enjoy painting details, painting small, painting slow and steady. I believe I enjoy painting a bit faster, even though I can paint slow like this, but I do enjoy painting faster, especially if I am working outdoors, if I'm painting on location. So this palette, it's more suitable for those people who like to paint a bit slower, who like to paint details, who like to be a bit more deliberate when you're painting. Even when picking up paint, I have to be a bit more deliberate. I like that this is so small that I can actually put this on the paper that I'm painting on right now. Let's paint some blue. This is ultramarine. Now this size 6 brush, this is the largest brush I would use with this palette. I would definitely not use size 8 or any larger because it's very difficult to fit the brush into the small well, or use the brush to pick up paint from such a small well. And even though the mixing wells here, they are bigger compared to those on the paint palette, it's still not as easy to use with this size 6 brush. But I do like how the paint and how the water, how they behave on porcelain. On porcelain, it's easier for the mixture to pull together. So when I move my brush like this, you can see this mixture, it doesn't break up into smaller puddles. Let me show you how the mixture would behave on plastic palettes. Same thing, I'm going to move my brush around, and can you see how the water, how it actually breaks up? Actually, to me, I don't really mind this behavior, but some people, they do prefer the porcelain palette just because the mixture can pull around more easily. Maybe using this palette together with a water brush would be more convenient because you don't have to bring a separate water container just to wash your brush. Alright, let's clean up the palette and see if I can clean this easily. So it seems like I am able to wipe the paint off completely, but bear in mind that I am actually not using staining colors here. I've just added some phthalo to see if this is going to stain the palette. Phthalo is a highly staining color. Alright, let's try and wipe this. And now it looks as good as new. It's really nice to mix watercolor on porcelain. I really enjoyed using these two palettes. Now they are a bit pricey though. If you buy this from Etchr Labs website, it's 72 Australian dollars. I'm not sure if that includes shipping. Anyway, there are other art suppliers, art stores that are selling these palettes as well. For example, I saw them on Jackson's Art. They are going for 32 sterling pounds. That doesn't include shipping. Anyway, I'll put some links in the video description below to certain online stores so that you can compare the prices. So to conclude, these palettes, they are good for those who like to paint small, paint details. They are more suitable for use with smaller brushes, not that great for painting on large canvases, and for those people who like to use a lot of colors and who want something portable. And overall, I think it's a good product, just that it's a bit pricey. Alright, let me know in the comment section what you think about this mini palettes. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video. Bye!